Alright, fellas. Appreciate you tuning back into another one, man. We're going to talk about how to bounce back after a sexual relapse. Now, this ain't a me video of me judging. This is going to be a video for me talking from experience, from my perspective, and to help you if you're going through something similar. You know? I used to... Well, it depends what you mean by a relapse, right? Because if you're holding on to your sexual energy and you're doing semen retention, right? Because like I said, you've got a task you want to complete. Now, this is why I say to you, it's important to have affirmations in your ears while you're sleeping. Not only to reprogram your mind, which is the best time to reprogram your mind when there's no resistance from your conscious mind. You also keep your subconscious mind busy, right? It's very easy to have wet dreams when you've been retaining your energy for so long. I've never had a wet dream or had any dream of any sexual activity while I had affirmations in my ear. And when I say have affirmations in your ear, I don't mean have headphones in if it's not comfortable for you. I just mean have the affirmations out loud on your phone or your tablet or your TV, whatever works for you. Right? I think that's personally better. It's recommended headphones because you get the binaural beats in the background and stuff like that, and it really works with your mind. So whatever works for you personally. All right? I'm going to speak on what I experienced when I was dealing with stuff. Right? Now, me, if I was to do something weak, like if I was to, when I was 28, I started this whole semen retention thing, right? I started this whole journey of me wanting to retain my energy. And I'm 36 now, so I've been doing it for a while. And I've learned what I've learned about myself, most importantly, and what I've needed to learn. Obviously, I'm still learning, you know what I mean? But I know me better than I knew myself back then. Back then, when I was in my early 20s, you know, I had some vices that would slow my life down. I was always beating on something cute, you know. I had pornography brain in my system, you know, and I smoked a little weed right here and there. But the weed wasn't the problem for me. The problem always was I was doing things to drain my energy as far as alcohol and having sex, right? So when I got to a certain age, 28, that's when I really started to figure out, okay, what is damaging my body and what is lowering my body energy and what is slowing me down from getting to the next level, right? Now, I cut off the alcohol because it was just a losing game, because alcohol is, right? I would never stop smoking weed because I enjoy smoking weed, what I get from it. But I did understand when I was smoking, I would get more sexual thoughts in my mind, right? Now, as far as the pornography, that was something I picked up as a child from a little pervert that lived across the street from me. When I say pervert, I mean this kid was obsessed with sex, man. You know what I'm saying? Brought pornos to my house and shit, and I would snap on him. We was like 9, 10, 11 years old, and he's bringing pornos to my house and saying, come and watch this, come and watch this. And I was like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? I ain't watching no pornos, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that was my introduction to pornography. And what I'm saying is, if you want to let go of something, man, whether it's cocaine habit, whether it's a drinking habit, whether it's a pornography habit, masturbation, or whatever it is, like I said, I'm speaking from experience. You gotta rationalize it in your mind as if it's a female, right? If it's a bad relationship or it's a bad marriage or something you're stuck in that you can get out of. You're not stuck, right? It's just a program that's been installed in your mind. You have to let that shit go and be wanting to let that shit go in your heart. Now, it's not going to be easy to. It's just going to be one day at a time, like I always say to you, right? But what I am saying to you is, what helped me to get over that is, like I said, I always think of my bigger picture. When I'm training and I'm working and I'm grinding and it's been like 60 days, 90 days, right? My mindset is always, all right, I'm starting to feel sexual urges to do something with a female, you know, get a little sloppy toppy or bend something over. But this is where I have grown within myself. I'm always trying to think of the bigger picture of what I'm trying to accomplish. And I know in my body, bro, I'm basically scared to bust nuts at a certain point, because I go on such long streaks, right, where I feel powerful in my mind, my body, and my energy, right, and emotionally. And I feel like busting a nut, however I do it, in whatever form it comes in, it just slows me down, man. And it's like it drains my momentum, right? Or slows down my momentum for me. And it feels like nothing's speedy after that. It just feels like I've set myself back, right? And I've lost momentum. So me personally, if I was to bust a nut, and when I did bust nuts, right, I would always kind of chill for the first 5 days. I wasn't strong as I was mentally. I wasn't strong physically. I would notice the drain in my head, in my brain, but maybe that's just me and my awareness, because once I'm aware of something, I can't be unaware of it. I'm fully aware of it, right? So that's my advice to you as far as relapsing, right? Now, if you're relapsing through pornography, it's gonna take you about a month to get your mind back, right? Because it's dangerous. This is why I would advise personally. This is not concrete advice, but I would say personally, if you've got access to a female, it's better to have sex with a female. I'm telling you right now, 100%. Because it's not as an energy drain. You have no idea how much pornography, how damaging it is to your brain, to your life, to your energy, to everything, right? It's better to go and link a female, even if it's a prostituted female, whatever. It's better to do that than to beat your dick to pornography. You understand? I'm just being real with you, brothers. You know? It's better to go and see a girl and do something and keep it moving. Because at least you've had sex the natural way, right? And at least you've conquered a female, respectfully, of course, with her consent. But I'm saying mentally, you've conquered a female in a sexual act, right? It doesn't mean you've done anything and forced yourself on her. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the natural act of sex, right? You have sex with a female, you penetrate the female, right? So what I'm saying is, in your mind, it's not as damaging when you ejaculate. Now, if you're a guy who can't go a week without busting a nut, this is what you need to work on. Me, I bust about 2 to 3 nuts out of every year. And I don't even like doing that. I'm trying to get to the point where I can go on absolutely long streaks and just, you know, but I'm still at that point where I'm addicted, not addicted, but I was addicted to girls with big titties, man. You know what I mean? That was what I liked. Now, that being said, you have to understand in your mind, you got to kind of, not a resentment, but you got to have a disdain for females, man. You know what I mean? A healthy disdain, not walking around, you know, and treating them like shit and doing something to them. I just mean a healthy disdain, where you're thinking, man, I can't bother with girls, man. Because you're so locked in on trying to complete your task, right? And you have to understand, girls are just distractions, man. Even sex in itself, the thought of sex is just distracting. It takes too much power up in a man's life, in a man's thoughts, in a man's energy. You understand what I'm saying to you? That's what I mean by a healthy disdain. Alright, so if you have ejaculated and relapsed, just give yourself a week to bounce back, man. Don't try and force it. Me, I always have cold showers and coffee, so that's how I get my mind to jumpstart back anyway. Alright, I appreciate the viewership. You know, subscribe to the channel, man. Get me to 30 subscribers and I'll keep dropping content for you boys. Peace out, man. Keep staying shape.